everyone, my name is Hope, welcome back to my channel. I like musicals, they're a part of my life, and today we're going to be talking about Mean Girls, the movie, the musical, soundtrack. Did I say talking? I meant reacting. So, if you didn't already know, Mean Girls, the musical, was turned into a film. It has been circling the web, if you will, in regards to the soundtrack and its cuts and its changes and some of the things just kind of going on in the soundtrack. So I thought, what would be the best idea to react to it, to see my reaction, because I'm probably going to have a lot of thoughts. I like Mean Girls musical. I think it's one of the better movie to musical adaptations. I like the music, I like the style, I like a lot of things about it. But obviously with every movie musical, they have to cut and change to fit the film, and that's when we start to have a problem. So I'm going into this with an open mind. We don't know what we're going to get. I've heard some things, and honestly, it's really not as bad as I think everyone's making it out to be, but I have only seen clips, so I could very well be proven wrong. So before I get to reacting, just remember that you can like and you can subscribe and you can comment down below on what you think and all of that kind of stuff. You can also follow me on my social medias. You can find me at XOWilsonX on Instagram and HopeWilson45 on TikTok and Twitter. So with that being said, let's get into it. Yes, I'm wearing my wireless headphones. What are you going to do about it? I like the electric guitar. Electric guitar is probably one of my favourite instruments to hear in a show. Okay, Auli'i and Jaquel, I'm probably pronouncing both of their names wrong, I'm sorry. They both have great voices, and I feel like this is a good way to start. I'm feeling it. Some nice blend, nice harmony blend. Did he say Finn Cooker Fosse? Because I don't know what any of that means other than Fosse. What's wrong with kick layout Fosse? That's great for everyone. It's giving Beat Machine. Oh, I'm sad there's no nice thank you. That is like a kind of iconic part at the beginning of Mean Girls. That was a pretty solid start, I can't lie, I quite like that. The next song is called What Ifs, and this is a new added song which is not in the show. I mean, it makes sense to cut It Roars because there's been so many alterations and changes to the song in the Broadway show that it just makes sense to cut it, but I like it, so it's kind of sad that it's not here. It's quite, I don't want to say uninteresting, but this feels like a credit song. That is like the best way I can describe it. It's also a bit indie music coded, which in my opinion isn't really the Mean Girls vibe, but what can I say? Hold on, they cut the Mean Girls motif. First off, that motif is great. Secondly, why would they do that? Like, they cut out the da-na-na-na, da-na-na. It's one of the best parts of the song. Hashtag mad about it. If you don't like Renee Rapp, I think there is genuinely something wrong with you. Like, you may need to question your sanity just a little bit. I quite like the backing. It's not like the Broadway show, but it is very, very evil coded, and thus I'm alright with it. Where is the rest of the song? Where is the counterpoint? Where is the harmony? Why are we only meeting one plastic in a song called Meet the Plastics and we're cutting out the best bit of the song? Because that is the best bit of the song. Okay. It's fine. It's giving Glee cover. I mean, I like Glee, but I'm just confused. It's not giving conversationally awkward. Like, I mean, particularly in the show, but also in the film, she is awkward. Like, she doesn't quite understand, like, the social norms and rules and regulations of American high school. And this is she gets it a lot. There's also, like, no grunge. Like, I get that Katie is not, like, a grungy character, but the cast recording itself has a lot of, like, grunge. It's a lot of electric guitar, bass guitar. Like, it's quite intense as a backing, and I'm just not getting that. Like, this song is giving nice, but the show is called Mean Girls. To me, that comes across as really profound, but, like, at the same time, I'm probably just dumb. This tempo is also really odd. Like, it's very on beat, and it's not, like, conversational. Where is the build? Like, it's so nonchalant, like the I am filled with calculus, it's like getting bigger, but in this, it's very much not. Missing the theme, again. No intro theme. Are we in the music video for Hotel Room by Pitbull? Not the bird sound. Damien? There's no attack. Like I said, there's no intensity. It's all very like, Jaquel, you have a great voice, but what are you doing in this song? Both of them, like Auli'i as well, like has a great voice, but like, what? I feel like they've taken everything that is musical theatre about Mean Girls and taken it away. And I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing because I get why they've made it more like poppy because that kind of makes sense for like the vibe, but it just I don't think quite works from like an intensity perspective because pop music in itself is not like an intense genre. Like if you think of people like, I'm going to use Dua Lipa because I think a lot of this sounds quite like Dua Lipa. Like if you think of like Levitating or Dance the Night, they're just fun. But I don't think Mean Girls is the place to just have fun music. Like it needs to have that edgy feel to it, because the Mean Girls, even though they are trendsetters and they are like the popular ones, they kind of became their own thing, and so kind of need their own genre of music to set them apart, if that makes sense. Is that a xylophone or is it like a music box? I like this one. The orchestration makes it seem like she's out of time, but I know that she's not, because I can count the music and she's not, but for sometimes it does sound like she is, which is really strange. This one is very much like the original, and so I can't really complain. Right, they cut the beginning dialogue for this song, but I have seen a clip of the actual film and she says the dialogue, so why cut it from the song? It's giving Dua Lipa mixed with those like preset music pieces that you get on the keyboard. This song is a bop though. There's no option up in the chorus. Like they're singing the harmony line. It's different, but in a good way. Sexy Joan of Arc instead of sexy Rosa Parks. Is that a good change? All the motifs are just like gone, which I get because it is obviously not a musical, but I miss them dearly. This is probably a bomb dance break, I can't lie. If you can sing the end of Sexy, why are you optioning down in the chorus? Especially when you can record this over and over again. That's all I'm saying. Also, there's no false ending, and like I think that would work so well in like a musical format, because it goes at the end. If you enjoyed my singing, I hope you did. But that is an opportunity to be funny, and they missed it. Very dramatic start. Billie Eilish? This is giving Billie Eilish. It's still, I'm having the same repeated problem. There's no intensity and it's very popified. And I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of pop music, but I just need a bit more. I'm really curious to see what this is like in the film. Reneé Rapp is just perfection, and nobody can tell me otherwise. Slay. Like, I need more intensity. Also, I saw that there was no reprise, and I am mad about that. You have Reneé Rapp, you have a belty number, and you do not use them for it. I'm noticing the more it's like the original, the more I like it. I miss the guitars. I'll bring the glow sticks, I'll bring the loons. Okay. That was a great riff. They're skipping over the dialogue. The dialogue is important. Give the dialogue where dialogue is due. I like the whisper. The whisper's fun. I think the one issue with this song is it feels as long as it is. Like, it's a 5-minute number and it feels like one. I wish it was, did her ass get bigger? Out of context, that makes absolutely no sense. But it's in the musical, it's written the same lyrics as it is here. But I don't know, like in the film they capitalise on the fact that her butt is the thing that's got bigger, and yet they point out her boobs have got bigger. Makes no sense to me. It sounds less auto-tuned on the playlist than it has done in stuff that I've heard. So I don't know if someone's edited it to make it sound more auto-tuned, but it definitely does not sound as auto-tuned as I've heard it. Ooh, I feel bad for the singers. Not because it was bad, but like coming in a syncopated entry, that's gross. Because I think the timing is changing as well. Like, that's great. It's a fun little ending. That's cute. I'm already ready. All the lyric changes are so insignificant. I do not understand why they have changed them. I want the big backing to match Reneé and all of her power that she so much has. Pyro-les. I mean, I get why they changed the lyric there, but couldn't think of anything better. You wrote this. How random. It's so easy for her. Like, I will be forever jealous. This is a bit of a random instrumental. I want to watch the world burn. Where you at? There we go. I am just one of the many people who wish they were indeed Reneé Rapp. Ooh, key change. What a bizarre key. I'm not complaining because it has been lowered. It makes some of it seem out of tune, even though it's not. It's just missing the grunge. And for Janice, you just really need it. I do quite like it though. Rip to all the songs that got cut. I am missing Do This Thing right now. The fact that it goes from I'd Rather Be Me to I See Stars is crazy. Like, yes, there is only one song between them in the show, but out of the 9 songs that are in Act 2 of Mean Girls, 3 of them have made it into the film. And out of the 12 songs in Act 1, 8 of them made it in, and I think at least half of them have had significant changes or cuts, which is quite ridiculous in my opinion. That was a cute riff. this is also giving credit song, and the original is not like that. And Gowri, where has this voice been? And I'm also sorry if I pronounce your name wrong, because you sound great right now. And everything seems to have been made easier for you before, but if you can sing like this, then I don't get why. I know this is Renee and Megan Thee Stallion, but it does just give Dua Lipa. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I like a lot of Dua Lipa songs, but it does. And that's the whole cast album. So, I listened to the whole album. What did I think? Well, I think it's fine. I get why they've done what they've done. I understand a lot of the changes that they've made. But as a fan of the musical, I wouldn't say that the translation from musical to movie makes a lot of sense. Mainly just because they've had to make so many changes from the stage show to the film that they kind of feel like two separate cast recordings, even though it's the same music. Like, if you were to put these two next to each other, people could identify that it was the same song, but I don't think people would call them anything alike for a lot of them. I think songs like What's Wrong With Me and Revenge Party are kind of the exceptions to this rule, because I feel like they do sound quite similar. But even stuff like World Burn sounds very different to the show version. And I'm not saying that my opinion is right, because I don't think anyone's opinion can ever really be right in a lot of situations, but it is just something to think about. And I think the problem that I identified was the biggest problem with the movie soundtrack was that none of the songs advance the plot. The whole point of a musical having songs in it is not just for fun, it's to advance the plot and keep the plot moving, because if you add in songs that don't really do anything for the plot, they're just kind of pointless and people notice. And some songs in Mean Girls you can accept from this rule, like A Cautionary Tale, because it's introducing the story, so it doesn't necessarily have to. But things like Revenge Party, Stupid with Love, World Burn, Someone Gets Hurt is probably the biggest issue I have in this, is that they feel like songs for song's sake and not songs for the reason that it's a song in the first place, to advance the plot. And this is not me being like none of the songs in Mean Girls don't advance the plot, because they do. Like, if you listen to the soundtrack, it's very clear what they do for the plot. But I feel like in this, it's not that clear as to how they advance the plot. And obviously, because I've not seen the film, I can't say, whether they do or they don't definitively, because I haven't seen it, so it may be different in the realm of the film, I don't know. But I think that is the biggest issue, because I think that the pop vibe just isn't for me, and that's not a bad thing. Like, I'm not a generally big fan of pop music anyway. It's not the kind of music that I listen to on the daily basis, so I can't go into something which is pretty much purely pop music and expect to like it all, because it's not the kind of music that I listen to. Just like if I was to go and watch a film and it was a comedy, I wouldn't like it as much because I'm not a big comedy fan. Like, it's just the same thing, and I can hold the film against it that it's a comedy just because I'm not a big fan of comedy, and it works the same for the show. I hope that makes sense as to what I'm trying to say. But like, it's really not as bad as everyone's making it out to be. People are saying it's just like a bit criminal, and I get why they're saying that, but I think people are interpreting it in the wrong way, and I think a lot of those people probably don't really like musicals to begin with. Mean Girls is iconic, and I think no matter how you adapt it, it probably still is going to be. And I think just because it's not the way you expected it to be, you should hate on it, because that's certainly what I'm seeing pretty much all across social media. But I really don't think we should hold people against the show just because it's not necessarily for you. But I think that's all I have to say. Comment down below what you think, what are your opinions, what do you like it, have you seen it, anything like that. But thank you for watching this video. Remember, you can like and subscribe and do all of those fun things because it really helps me out. You can follow me on my social medias, which will be in the description down below. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.